Dear students, in this session, we will discuss about the process of organizing in management. We shall also discuss about the importance, principles and different concepts of the organization process. Introduction. Have you ever planned a camping trip with friends? There's so much involved, like choosing when you will go, booking a camping spot and deciding on what you'll need, who's bringing the tent, the cooking equipment and food. You also have to read the maps on how to get there, and what if it rains? You need to have plan B ready. These skills are all part of planning and organizing, and they are part of our everyday lives. Hence, it is very important for everyone to know the steps in planning. This helps in taking effective decisions. The process of organizing. Organizing refers to the way in which the work of a group of people is arranged and distributed among group members. The function of organizing includes the determination of the activities to be performed, creation of departments, sections and positions to perform those activities, and establishing relationships among the various parts of an organization. Organizing is a function of management, while organization refers to a group of persons who have come together to achieve some common objectives. The process of organizing refers to identifying and grouping of activities to be performed, defining and delegating authority, casting responsibility, and establishing relationships to enable people to work together effectively in accomplishing objectives. The process of organizing consists of the following steps. Determining the activities to be performed to achieve the objectives of the organization, identification of major functions to which these activities relate, grouping and subdividing the activities within each function on the basis of similarity or relatedness, establishing relationship among individuals and groups, determining the activities to be performed to achieve the objectives of the organization. Business organizations undertake economic activities with a view to earning profit. They may perform manufacturing, trading, or service activity. In a manufacturing organization, production and sales are the two major activities. In a trading organization, purchases and sales are the two major activities. Service organizations provide services such as transportation to their customers. In carrying out these major activities, business units have to perform a number of other activities such as producing, financing, marketing, accounting, recruiting employees, etc. Since the objectives of the different organizations are different, it is therefore necessary to determine the activities of each organization separately. Identification of major functions to which these activities relate. The next step is to identify the major functions to which these activities relate. In a manufacturing organization, production, selling, finance, and personnel are the major functions. If the amount of work to be done in connection with each of these functions is large, separate departments may be created for each of these functions. Managerial positions will have to be created to supervise the activities of departments. At this stage, a list of activities relating to each function must be prepared. Grouping and subdividing the work within each function. In this step, it is decided how best the activities can be grouped on the basis of similarity or relatedness. The activities of a production department, for example, can be divided into number of workshops where production will actually take place. Besides, separate sections may be created for such production-related activities as quality control and repairs. The activities of other departments can similarly be subdivided. Establishing relationship among individuals and groups. Managers divide activities to increase efficiency and to ensure that the work is properly done. The activities which are performed by persons holding different positions must be related. The responsibility, authority, and accountability of each person must be well defined. This is necessary to avoid conflict and confusion and to ensure that the work is performed as planned. Establishing relationships among individuals and groups is therefore an important aspect of the organizing process. It would be useful at this stage to explain the meaning of responsibility, authority, and accountability. Responsibility. Responsibility is the obligation of a subordinate to perform the assigned duties. When a subordinate accepts duties, he has to perform those duties in a manner desired by the superior. Authority. When a person is given certain duties to perform, he must be given necessary authority also. Otherwise, he will not be able to do the work. A typist, for example, cannot do the typing job if he is not given the right to use facilities such as place to sit, a table, a chair, a typewriter, typing in carbon papers, etc. Accountability. After assigning duties and granting authority, one more relationship becomes necessary. This is the relationship of accountability. Accountability, in other words, means answerability. That is, each person has to report to his superior as to how the work has been done and how authority has been used. Accountability is always upward. Accountability ensures that the work is done as planned and authority is properly used. Importance of organizing function. The following are the points that strongly support the process of organizing in the management cycle. Specialization. Organizational structure is a network of relationships in which the work is divided into units and departments. This division of work is helping in bringing specialization in various activities of concern. Well-defined jobs. Organizational structure helps in putting right men on right job, which can be done by selecting people for various departments according to their qualifications, skills, and experience. This is helping in defining the jobs properly, which clarifies the role of every person. Clarifies authority. Organizational structure helps in clarifying the role positions to every manager, status quo. This can be done by clarifying the powers to every manager, and the way he has to exercise those powers should be clarified so that the misuse of powers does not take place. Well-defined jobs and responsibilities attached helps in bringing efficiency into managers' working. This helps in increasing productivity. Coordination. Organization is the means of creating coordination among different departments of the enterprise. It creates clear-cut relationships among positions and ensures mutual cooperation among individuals. Authority responsibility. Relationships can be fruitful only when there is a formal relationship between the two. For smooth running of an organization, the coordination between the authority responsibilities is very important. Effective administration. The organization structure is helpful in defining the job's positions. The roles to be performed by different managers are clarified. Specialization is achieved through division of work. This all leads to efficient and effective administration. Growth and diversification. A company's growth is totally dependent on how efficiently and smoothly a concern works. Efficiency can be brought about by clarifying the role, positions to the managers, coordination between authority and responsibility, and concentrating on specialization. Sense of security. Organizational structure clarifies the job positions. The roles assigned to every manager are clear. Coordination is possible. Therefore, clarity of power helps automatically in increasing mental satisfaction and thereby a sense of security in a concern. This is very important for job satisfaction. Principles of organizing function. The organizing process can be done efficiently if managers have certain guidelines so that they can take decisions and can act. To organize in an effective manner, the following principles of organizations can be used by the manager. Principle of unity of objectives. Organizational goals, departmental goals, and individual goals must be clearly defined. All goals and objectives must have uniformity. When there is contradiction among different levels of goals, desired goals cannot be achieved. Therefore, unity of objectives is necessary. Principle of specialization. Sound and effective organization believes on organization. The term specialization is related to work and employees. When an employee takes special type of knowledge and skill in any area, it is known as specialization. Modern business specialization needs the specialization skill and knowledge by this desired sector of economy, and thus efficiency should be established. Principle of coordination. Coordination can be obtained by group effort that emphasizes on unity of action. Therefore, coordination facilitates in several management concepts. Principle of authority. Authority is the kind of right and power through which it guides and directs the actions of others so that the organizational goals can be achieved. It is also related with decision making. It is vested in particular position, not to the person, because authority is given by an institution and therefore it is legal. It generally flows from higher level to the lowest level of management. There should be unbroken line of authority. Principle of responsibility. Authentic body of an organization is top-level management. Top-level management directs the subordinates. Departmental managers and other personnel take the directions from the top-level management to perform the tasks. Authority is necessary to perform the work. Only authority is not provided to the people, but obligation is also provided. So, the obligation to perform the duties and the task is known as responsibility. Responsibility can't be delegated. It can't be avoided. Principle of delegation. Process of transferring authority and creation of responsibility between superior and subordinates to accomplish a certain task is called delegation of authority. Authority is only delegated, not responsibilities in all level of management. The authority delegated should be equal to the responsibility. Principle of efficiency. In an enterprise, different resources are used. These resources must be used in effective manner. When the organization fulfills the objectives with minimum cost, it is effective. Organization must always concentrate on efficiency. Principle of unity of command. Subordinates should receive orders from single superior at a time, and all subordinates should be accountable to that superior. More superior leads to delay, confusion, and so on. Principle of span of control. Unlimited subordinates can't be supervised by a manager. This principle thus helps to determine numerical limit if subordinates to be supervised by a manager. This improves efficiency. Principle of balance. The functional activities, their establishment, and other performances should be balanced properly. Authority, centralization, decentralization must be balanced equally. This is very challenging job, but efficient management must keep it. Principle of communication. Communication is the process of transformation of information from one person to the other of different levels. It involves the systematic and continuous process of telling, listening, understanding, opinions, ideas, feelings, information, views, etc. in flow of information. Effective communication is important. Principle of personal ability. For sound organization, human resources is important. Employees must be capable. Able employees can perform higher. Mainly training and development programs must be encouraged to develop the skill in the employees. Principle of flexibility. Organizational structure must be flexible considering the environmental dynamism. Sometimes dramatically change may occur in the organization, and in that condition, organization should be ready to accept the change. Principle of simplicity. This principle emphasizes the simplicity of organizational structure. The structure, if organization, should be simple with minimum number of levels to do so that its members can understand duties and authorities. Departmentation. Departmentation is means of dividing the large functional organization into smaller, flexible administrative units. It makes grouping of activities into units and subunits created through departmentation, which are known as department division, section, branch, etc. The process of departmentation takes place at all levels in the organization. At the top level, the breakup of functions into activities is called primary departmentation. Grouping activities into separate units at the middle level is called intermediate departmentation, and at the lower level is called ultimate departmentation or secondary departmentation. Let us discuss some other definitions of departments. According to Louis Allen, departmentation is the means of dividing the large and monolithical functional organization into smaller, flexible administrative units. According to Kuntz and O'Donnell, a department is a distinct area, division, or branch of an enterprise over which a manager has authority for the performance of specified activities. In short, we need departmentation in an enterprise to divide the activities along with authority, responsibility, and accountability with sole objective to get the work done smoothly and in the best possible way. Importance of departmentation. The importance of departmentation is to facilitate successful operation and to create an environment for effective performance. Grouping of activities and employees into departments makes it possible to expand an organization to a large extent. It enables the organization to recapture some of the advantages of small functional organization. Advantages of departmentation are as follows: specialization, growth and expansion, fixing responsibility, better customer service, performance appraisal, management development, optimum utilization of resources, facilities better control. Specification. Departmentation helps to grow specification in various activities, which leads to improving the efficiency of operation. Feeling of autonomy. Departmentation gives independent charges to managers. The feeling of independence provides satisfaction and in turn increases their responsibility and efficiency. Fixation of responsibility. Through departmentation, responsibilities of the work can be precisely and accurately fixed. The authority and responsibility of each department is defined precisely. Development of management. The managers of each department perform specialized functions. They take independent decisions and develop themselves for higher positions. Departmentation facilitates the development of managerial personnel by providing them with opportunities for exercising initiatives. Facilities in appraisal. Since the managers perform specified jobs, their performance appraisals become easier. Departmentation facilitates administrative control as standards of performance are laid down separately for each department. Budget preparation. It makes the preparation of budget for departments easier as well as for the organization as a whole easier. Proper supervision. As the authority for making decisions is diffused to the managers of the departments and works are assigned to each individual department-wise, supervision and control become easier. After discussing the meaning and importance of departmentation, we should also discuss the basis on which various groups or departments are created in an organization. Following are the most widely used bases for departmentation: departmentation by function, departmentation by product, departmentation by territory or geographical area, departmentation by customer or market, departmentation by process or equipment, composite or combined departmentation. Centralization and decentralization. Centralization is said to be a process where the concentration of the decision making is in few hands. All the important decisions and actions at the lower level, all subjects and actions at the lower level are subject to the approval of the top management. According to Allen, centralization is a systematic and consistent reservation of authority at central points in the organization. The implications of centralization can be reservation of decision-making power at top level, reservation of operating authority with the middle level managers, reservation of operation at lower level at the directions of the top level. Under centralization, the important and key decisions are taken by the top management and at the other levels are into implementations as per the directions of the top level. For example, in a business concern, the father and the son being the owners, decide about the important matters, and all the rest functions like product, finance, marketing, personnel are carried out by the department heads, as they have to act as per instructions and orders of the two people. Therefore, in this case, decision-making power remain in the hands of the father and the son. On the other hand, decentralization is a systematic delegation of authority at all levels of management and in all levels of the organization. In a decentralized concern, authority is retained by the top management for taking major decisions and framing policies concerning the whole concern. Rest of the authority may be delegated to middle level and lower level of management. The degree of centralization and decentralization will depend upon the amount of authority delegated to the lowest level. According to Allen, decentralization refers to the systematic effort to delegate to the lowest level of authority except that which can be controlled and exercised at central points. Decentralization is not as same as delegation. In fact, decentralization is all extension of delegation. Decentralization pattern is wider in scope and the authorities are diffused to the lowest most level of the management. Delegation of authority is a complete process and takes place from one person to the other, while decentralization is complete only when fullest possible delegation has taken place. For example, the general manager of a company is responsible for receiving the leave application for the whole of the concern. The general manager delegates this work to the personnel manager, who is now responsible for receiving the leave applicants. In this situation, delegation of authority has taken place. On the other hand, on the request of the personnel manager, if the general manager delegates this power to all the departmental heads at all levels, in this situation, decentralization has taken place. There is a saying that everything that increasing the role of subordinates is decentralization and that decreases the role is centralization. Decentralization is wider in scope and the subordinate's responsibility increases in this case. On the other hand, in delegation, the managers remain answerable even for the acts of subordinates to their superiors. Delegation. A manager alone cannot perform all the tasks assigned to him. In order to meet the targets, the manager should delegate authority. Delegation of authority means division of authority and powers downwards to the subordinates. Delegation is about entrusting someone else to do parts of your job. Delegation of authority can be defined as subdivision and sub-allocation of powers to the subordinates in order to achieve effective results. Delegation of authority is the base of superior-subordinate relationship. It involves the following steps. Assignment of duties. The delegator first tries to define the task and duties to the subordinate. He also has to define the result expected from the subordinates. Clarity of duty as well as result expected has to be the first step in delegation. Granting of authority. Subdivision of authority takes place when a superior divides and shares his authority with the subordinate. It is for this reason every subordinate should be given enough independence to carry out the task given to them by his superiors. Creating responsibility and accountability. The delegation process does not end once powers are granted to the subordinates. They, at the same time, have to be obligatory towards the duties assigned to them. Responsibility is said to be the factor or obligation of an individual to carry out his duties in the best of his ability as per the direction of the superior. Responsibility is very important. Therefore, it is that which gives effectiveness to authority. Conclusion. In this session, we discussed about the process of organizing in management. We also discussed about the importance, principles, and different concepts of the organizing process. Organizing in general sense means systematic arrangement of activities. In this sense, it is done by each individual. However, organizing as a process of management essentially relates to subdividing and grouping of activities. It becomes necessary when two or more persons work together to achieve some common objectives. When a player is playing alone, there is perhaps no need of organizing. But organizing becomes important when players are playing in a team. In that case, it is important to determine the role of each player and for the team as a whole to attain victory over the rival team. Similarly, in a one-man business, all activities are performed by the owner himself. But when the owner employs someone to assist him, he has to determine the work to be done by the employee and give him the right to use materials, machinery, equipment, etc. By going through this session, we are now able to judge that organizing is necessary in this scenario.